Live from Johannesburg. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to Tekaraj TV. Welcome to this wonderful and blessed show called Let's Talk. With me, your host, Josué, BOLOWA. I'm always delighted to have you among us. Thank you so much for choosing this particular show. Thank you so much for choosing to be connected, tuned in this wonderful channel called Tekaraj TV. I greet you all everywhere you are. Thank you so much also for your SMSs. Thank you so much also for your WhatsApp, your messages around the world. Without any delay, today, as you know, Let Us Talk. It's a talk show whereby we are bringing understanding. We are bringing some, knowledge to you and bringing some issues affecting our lives here on this platform. Today, we are going to talk about immigration, asylum seeking, refugees here in South Africa. As you know, we are broadcasting live from Johannesburg, South Africa. Without further delay, I'm going to welcome my guest today. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Baba.
How are you doing?
I'm all right.
Can you please introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, I'm Adrien BAZOLAKIO. I'm a coordinator at CBMC that stands for Coordinating Body of Refugees and Migrant Communities. Is a based organization that works with the refugees and asylum seekers as well as with migrants who are facing the same problem with the refugees and migrants in South Africa.
You are a coordinator. You are coordinating this, but I know it's just a huge and a big organization, all right? So can you tell us a little bit this immigration issue here in South Africa? How does it started?
Yeah, I think that immigration broadly has started for a long time. It's a phenomenon that is known for so many years. But in South Africa, here, when you're speaking about migration, I would like maybe that we can emphasize on asylum seeker and refugees management.
That's correct.
But because if we take international migration, then it's going to take us a long time
to talk about.
So I'd like maybe that we speak about the domestic framework of refugees and migrants in South Africa. That started, the first act that of South Africa is 1999, that we have South Africa Act for Refugee. That we are going to talk about is, I think that on that side that we can also agree.
Yeah, of course, we are going to talk about this domestic issue where it's affecting every people. And do you have any idea why people around the world, they're choosing to come to South Africa? Do you have any reason?
People do move from a reason.
Yes.
No reason you cannot move from your home country, from your country of origin to a country of destination. There is a reason. I think that's the reason here that people are coming to South Africa for human rights protection, as well. Also, they come also for seeking a better life in South Africa. You see, therefore, those two reasons that I can mention as for now is that they come from seeking for better life, as well. Also, they come from human rights protection, because where they come from, people are coming for different views where they are from.
I mean, as you said, the people are looking for a better life, all right? Okay, let's go to where you guys are managing. You say you are more involved at asylum seeking and refugee management, right?
Yes.
Before we go further on that management, can you tell our viewers who is asylum seeker? Who can we call this one asylum seeker? Is there any difference between asylum seeking and a refugee?
Yes, there is a difference between an asylum seeker and a refugee. When they say that you are a refugee, it means that the country, as we are here in South Africa has accepted you as a refugee. It means that while you went, when you went to the refugee reception officer that is receiving, let's say, whoever who want to be protected by South Africa, you went there with your claim. And by claim, it means that your statement that you are bringing to the department, to the government, to the Department of Home Affairs. Let me mention here that the Department of Home Affairs is the department which manages, refugees and refugees and asylum seekers in South Africa. A refugee is somebody who has been accepted by South African government.
Yeah.
It means that with his claim is well founded. You see, his claim is well founded. It means that the country accepted him because he said that maybe he fled for a human rights reason or with a threat of persecution from where he's from. So that's why the country accepted him. So the country gives him what they're calling a refugee status permit.
Yeah.
And an asylum seeker is somebody who's not accepted yet. His application is still under investigation
Yes.
until they found out that the claim that the person or the client is putting on the table is relevant. If his claim is relevant, then they can say he becomes now a refugee. But so far, when you are in the country, you are an asylum seeker. It means you are still looking for the way forward to be in a refugee status. This is the difference.
That's a difference. As you said, the claim must be relevant. It must be proven, founded based on a particular reason. As I think you mentioned earlier on, it might be political reason. It might be you flee for tribulations or anything. But now with the issue which we have in South Africa, and how long, before we go to the issue, how long does it take to move from an asylum seeking to a refugee? Is there any particular time whereby, okay, now I'm in South Africa, I'm an asylum seeker, and then how long is it going to take me to be qualified to be called a refugee in South Africa?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think that I would like here to mention the first step. It's let me call it a process.
Yeah.
From where you enter. First, we enter any country with the ports of entry. It can be airports, it can be the sea land, where people are coming from. In South Africa, when you come for the first time, when you come, they will give you a permit, a kind of permit that you cannot renew it. They call it a Section 23 permit or a transit permit. That transit permit that we are calling it Section 23, it's the duration is only for 14 days.
For 14 days.
It means when you enter, they give you that Section 23. You enter in the country. It means that within 14 days, you have to avail yourself to the refugee reception office to say that I'm looking for, I come here in South Africa, I'm looking for a protection.
Okay.
So they give you that Section 23. In Section 23,
which is last 43, 14 days.
For 14 days.
Like 2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks.
Yes.
Then when you avail yourself, you go there. When they receive you, who we are calling refugee, determination officer. Yeah. What you are calling an official of Home Affairs is going to receive you. Is you will have an interview. After the interview, is going to listen to your statement as I mentioned. After the interview, if your interview is well founded, then is going to provide you with a permit. Whether it's going to be a permit where they are calling for the 22nd permit, which lasts 6 months. After the 6 months permit, they will provide you for the first time. If you try to see the way I mentioned it, that you have 2 papers. The first paper, what I call that, is a permit, a transit permit for 14 days. You enter. When you enter, you go to reception, refugee reception office for your claim for the first interview. They give you the second paper, the second permit that I'm calling this Section 22 permit, which lasts 6 months. It means that after giving you the 6 months, it means you are in the country. You're staying in the country is regularized. I mean, it means that you can stay in the country for 6 months.
For 6 months.
After 6 months, that payment is going to be expired. You'll go back to the reception, to the refugee reception office
yes.
again to renew that paper. They will give you another 6 months until they fund that your claim, if your claim is, as I mentioned here, that your claim is well funded, then they can provide you a refugee status. A refugee status has the duration of 4 years. After 4 years, then you cannot stay for 4 years for so long or for so many years. After 4 years, if you are now with that refugee status 5 years, then they can provide you with another payment that they're calling a PR, permanent payment that they provide you, that can bring you to citizens and so forth.
That's so very interesting for you viewers are watching us all over the world, wherever you are. For instance, you would like to come to South Africa, those are the process you need to know. Reason why we have this show, this discussion, so that you may understand if by chance, by any means, you find yourself in South Africa and you are seeking a refugee or you are seeking somewhere to hide because of any reason you might have, it must be based and very, very relevant. So you don't need to run from your country because of lack of food. Miss Adrien, you can't run away from your country. Wherever you are, you can run. Well, let me go to South Africa because there is a better life. I don't think this is a base reason why people are running away from their countries.
No, as I mentioned here, that it is not a really food that is missing in the countries that people are coming to look for food here, or job is missing.
Yeah.
But even here that we have South African citizens who are not working. You see, we have also citizens who are starving. They don't have something to eat. But I think that I mentioned that we cannot decline. We cannot say that people are coming here only for seeking for jobs. But we mentioned that people are coming here for, I mentioned 2 main reasons.
Yes.
I say for human rights protection or for better life. You see?
Now, when you say better life, means that
better life.
When you say better life, when somebody is watching, I don't know, in UK, in Europe, and I don't know, wherever he is, say, okay, there is a better life in South Africa, let me just go and look for refuge there.
No, I mean by better life, it means that South African government needs skilled people.
Okay.
You see, when you have your skills, maybe with your skills back home, you couldn't even work because of maybe the political issue in the country, you cannot work. You say that, no, with my skills, I can go maybe in South Africa and look for a job. Let me take example of most of the countries, like in one of the countries, I can say in Congo. We have Congo, South African government knows Congolese doctors as the best or better doctors. You know that? Yeah. They've got skills. They came in South Africa here with their skills. They couldn't even maybe have chance to work and for their life, but they came in South Africa. They can improve the skills also and work as doctors. And we have many fields, not only doctors. We have engineers who are working here in South Africa from different countries. They bring the skills because when you are a refugee or you are any migrant, you can come empty with nothing in your hands. You bring only your
and you
your
say
hands.
South Africa, it's like a heaven. Let me just go and then look for better life there. But you don't have any skills in you. You don't have any qualification.
Yeah.
But you just decide to go to South Africa because there is a better life there.
No, you cannot come because better life, it means that you have first to bring something. It means you bring your skills.
That's right.
You bring your skills, and then with your skills, it can suit you to be in the right place. I can say that, let me mention here that it is not fine. Most of the countries or most of places that people are coming from, I mean, migrants, people are coming into South Africa. let me call them migrant because they are not refugees yet, because if you're a refugee, I mentioned here who's a refugee and who's an asylum seeker. Migrant, when they're coming, they are like in a square peg in a round hole. You see, a square peg, a peg which is square in a round hole. It can cover when they come from. Yeah. They can cover. It means the job that they're doing doesn't suit with the skills. But maybe when you enter in South Africa, you can find a job that suits with your skills. You see, then it can be a right peg or cover in a good hole, in a good cover in that way. Better life, it doesn't mean that you come here, it means that here we have a McDonald's or whatever. I say that no, I didn't have chance to eat McDonald's where I come from. Let me go and I will take Africa, on the street. I'll take from food on the street. It's
KFC and Nando's and so
Nando's.
On.
No.
Yeah, let's go further, Mr. Adrien. If you're just coming to join us, this is your show, Let's Talk. We'd like to have your view or your say concerning this particular issue we are discussing today. On this particular episode, we are talking about immigration, who is illegal immigration, who is asylum seekers, who is a refugee and so on. Mr. Adrien, you are facing a difficult and you are dealing with a lot of cases here concerning asylum seeking and so on. Can you please mention some of them, the challenges you are having as you are dealing on that board or that committee or organization you are in now?
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. But I'd like, before maybe I can speak about challenges that refugees and asylum seekers are going through to change by maybe speaking not only about challenges but privileges that they are having.
Oh, okay.
Because if you say that,
so you want to tell some of the viewers that there are some privileges if you are asylum seekers or you are a refugee in South Africa here, you got some privileges.
Yes, I think that
but many that they don't know about it.
Yeah, they don't know, but that's why this platform is an opportunity maybe to tell those of asylum seeker refugees who are living in South Africa. They may know that they don't have they are not only facing challenges, they have also privileges or opportunities in South Africa. Because people, when they are coming for two things. You see, as I mentioned, they come for opportunities, economic opportunities, and also for protections or human rights protection. That's why I want to speak about first, before mentioning challenges, I would like maybe to speak about privileges that they have. A privilege that when you are in South Africa, it means that with the paper that they give you, with the paper that the Home Affairs, gives you, department gives you, you may study or you may work. If you are a refugee, we have a permit that we are calling for a 24 permit that's known as a refugee permit. Yes. That you can go to the university and study. Okay. You can work with that permit. You see? But if you are with that permit, a refugee permit, you can also access social grants. Okay. I'm emphasizing here that about refugee permit.
Refugee
permit.
Yes.
Currently, it has a duration of 4 years. Okay. It means you have access.
Some that do call it refugee status, right?
Yeah, refugee status or refugee permit. Yes. Or 24.
Section 24.
Section 24. Yes. Is what I'm speaking about here. It means that you have the same right like South Africans. Okay. Except the right of voting. You don't have that right of voting. Okay. But you have access to the grants. If you have your children, they are to school. If they have that section 24, they can go to some services like SARS. Yes. They can have a letter grant from them. So because they've got the same right like South African, except the right of votes. But if you have this permit that they are calling section 22, yes, that lasts for 6 months, they renew it, and 6 months. Though we'll go when I speak about challenges, I'll go back there because you have surely question to ask.
Of course.
With that section 22, you can also work and study because your case is still pending, you are looking for asylum seeker, it cannot prevent you not to work and study. You see, you can also work and study, but you don't have access to grants because you are still looking for the way forward to be a refugee or to have a section 2024.
Okay.
Now that, let me come back to your question, that challenges that migrants are facing. I put it migrants because we are working with migrants, we are working with refugees as well, asylum seekers. Because migrants, if I say migrants, they may be also South Africans, because South Africans, some of the South Africans are facing the same challenges like refugees in South Africa.
Oh, okay. How?
See, they are facing. It means that when we are speaking about job,
Yes.
South African also, they've got some of South Africans that are not working.
Yeah.
Like
That is
some
for sure.
refugees, they are facing same problems.
Yeah.
When speaking about documentation, that you say that, like an example that I have that recently from the office, a South Africans that instead of the gender is a male, instead of writing male, they write female on his in documentation, but to go and change only
it's another
female
problem. To a male.
to the male is a problem.
Mm.
It's a documentation problem.
Okay.
The same documentation problem that refugees or asylum seekers are facing. That's why I say that let me put it like having all migrants.
Okay.
Let's put them on the same bag and calling them migrants.
Yes.
So challenges we are facing coming from outside. The main challenge we have is a documentation.
Yeah.
It's a challenge in South Africa. It is not easy in South Africa to have a permit. When I'm speaking about documentation, I mean permit. Commonly here in South Africa, we call it document.
Documents, yeah.
Yeah, document. You say that I don't have document. My document is expired. I mean permit or visa. A permit documentation is an issue that is affecting all asylum seekers and refugees in South Africa. It can be a 6 months section 22,
Yes.
or it can be a 24 permit. Is a challenge, because if you start by having a challenge with the documentation, it means that without the
Obviously,
documentation,
it's affecting
job.
all jobs.
It's affecting access to health care.
Yes.
It's affecting access to education. It's affecting a lot of services in South Africa. So the main challenge I can say here is documentation for asylum seeker and refugees, for those who come for the first time in South Africa.
For those who come in for the first time in South Africa, this is a challenge we are having. I mean, the immigrants or the legal one. We are talking about the legal one when you are coming to South Africa to look for a better life or to look for safety, to look for a refuge. It's a documentation where we are having here in South Africa. They're just letting me know that the time is so flying. I don't know why. When our subject's going to go more and more interesting, we got a few time. Mr. Adrien,
Yes.
can you try to raise maybe 1 or 2 cases which, on your side, you're still fighting for it, so that you can bring some solution to those who are coming from outside? Especially, let's talk about regular cases you are having daily basis, because you are in your office, as now you get just a break, you come to the show. But there are some cases where you know that since the organization started, it's over and over. You even go forward to the Home Affairs Department, you are facing the same problem. So that those who are watching us, they might find themselves in South Africa. They may already know that, okay, when I have that problem, this is the right person with the right organization I'm going to see.
Thank you very much. That's really very important. We are facing now on cases over cases, but I'm going to take a case of Section 22. As I mentioned, that the Section 22, they have 6 months. They give 6 months to whoever with the Section 22 permit. But it comes that instead of renewing your 6 months, you go, they won't give you a 6 months permit to renew your permit with 6 months. They can give you a month or 2 months. Sometimes they're giving them a week. and go and renew. So this is the problem that we are still working on with the Department of Home Affairs. They may tell you that your claim is not founded, or is not well founded. When they give you that a month, you'll go to the board that they are calling Refugees Appeal Board.
Yes.
They call RAB, Refugees Appeal Board. In the Refugee Appeal Board, you go there for a second interview. Refugees Appeal Board is going to see if your claim, your claim is still valid,
Yes.
to see whether they can give you beyond 6 months or they can still maintain you in 6 months. Unfortunately, the 6 months we are speaking about here, it's only 6 months, maybe they say only 6 months, but we have people with a week only. Go and renew your paper with a week. Is where the fight is where we are not fighting. So it's a discussion on a round table so that they can see cases of refugees or asylum seekers who are sitting on those cases. This is really a problem. Also with the refugees who have 4 years, they give them 4 years, but when you go to renew your 4 years, when your 4 years is expired, it means that you renew it. It means you are whether in 5 years or 6 years. It means you may apply now for PR, permanent residence.
Yeah.
But we have cases of permanent residence with 20 years here in South Africa. They don't have permanent residence. 20 years. Also, we have people with the Section 22, which is with the 6 months. They have been here in South Africa for 10 years. They are still there. They don't move forward with the payment. This is the problem.
Don't you see, Mr. Adrien, if I can interrupt a little bit, don't you see maybe it's also based on the way people are coming to South Africa? When they go through interview, they don't give the right reason. You know, they just come, you know what, during interview here, or first of all, maybe there is a lack of understanding of English, or the language might be a problem, and you'll hear the person who want to look for a refugee, he'll tell you some story different than, you know, the Home Affairs can accept him. Maybe don't you see the reason also they say, okay, let me just give them another maybe a week or 2 weeks or a month, then we can see if we can approve that case. Don't you see that?
Yeah, I think that a language is not a barrier currently in South Africa, because Home Affairs, where asylum seekers and refugees are going, has interpreters. You see, they can translate if the client doesn't understand the language, English. But coming for the claim, if it could be the claim, I think that after 2 or 3 interviews, after 3 interviews, the officer can tell you that we don't see that your claim is not well founded. It means that they can tell you to go back voluntarily, or they can deport you. You see, they can tell you to deport you, and they give you what here in South Africa they give you a mass leave. A mass leave is a document. They give you. They say that you must leave the country in 30 days, or you can leave or pack your stuff and go back. They give you a mass leave in 30 days, or they give 6 months to leave the country. You see, they leave the country. If you don't leave the country, then you won't go back to the Department of Home Affairs to renew your paper. Then you'll be undocumented.
It's another issue.
It's
another problem. It's another problem. You are going to be called illegal.
They caught you illegally in the country. It means that you are walking in the country. You stay in the country illegally. You don't have a paper. You are undocumented. When they see you that you are illegal, if the police, you face the police will bring you to the Department of Home Affairs. They will check your fingerprint to see whether you have a criminal record and take that. Then they can deport you
All right.
that they can give
All
you.
right.
So-
Thank you so much, Mr. Adrien. Unfortunately, we are running behind the time. Just the last word, if people want to contact you or contact your office, where you are, and here in South Africa, in Joburg, your last
Yeah,
word?
we are in Joburg. It has been 20 years that we are working with the refugees and the migrants of Africa.
Yes.
Because we started in 1999, we are the first asylum seeker refugees community-based organization in South Africa.
Yeah.
We are, let me mention here that we are under COMSA. COMSA is a consortium of refugees and migrants in South Africa. It's a platform.
And the physical address?
The physical address. We are CBMC.
Okay.
Our physical address, we are on 7 Loveday and Frederick in town in Johannesburg. We are based in Johannesburg. You are all welcome on 7 Corner, Loveday and Frederick in town, Marshall.
Right. That brings us at the end of the show. Thank you so much. We'd like again to invite Mr. Adrien again to our platform so that we can discuss more about refugee, permanent residence, how to get the documentation, all those stuff. If you are facing any problem and challenge, you are living in South Africa, please do not hesitate. Contact us, the numbers on the screen. We are going to, to link you to Mr. Adrien so that you can see your cases and so on, help you there so that you can be legal here in South Africa. That brings up the show. This was Let's Talk Show with me, Josué BOLOWA. Thank you so much for everybody who just put your hand together so that this show can be possible to you where you are. I say thank you to Didi Fire Chitamba who was behind the camera, Harisave. Thank you so much for your assistance. Mugabe, we call him Mugabe. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you, everybody. I say thank you to all the technical support. Until next time, God bless you. Let's talk. Keep talking. See you next time. Bye.
Hey.